we've done with the cache, and now I see that we don't have really much size of this fluid container, and we need to change it to the after size. If we change it to the after size, it's also get much time to calculation, but now you can see how looks our fluid. Maybe we can check on every stage of this fluid, and I think it also looks great and natural. Let's see how it looks in the render. In the render, we're using inside of the fluid shape, we're using these settings on the textures. And if you can use some texture incandescence and texture opacity with this phase, yeah, you can achieve this quality on the render. If we switch off this texture incandescence and texture opacity, you will get some pure realism of this fluid. I'm suggesting you to use these settings on the texture opacity and on the texture incandescence, and it becomes more interesting on the rendering. And these settings not affect on the cache. Another mistake that I'm achieving, we don't have enough space for this explosion according to this Y position. And what we can change, we can use after resize parameter. If we use after resize, we can recalculate the cache, or we can delete the cache. Let's disable all the cache, and inside of my folder I will also delete the cache because I don't have enough space. It's interesting how much it's already 4 gigabytes for the cache. Let's delete this into the trash and empty trash. Okay, without cache, we can recalculate our fluid, and if you're happy with the result, we switch on after resize, and now we will get the same quality of this fluid, and it's recalculating every time according to this explosion size. And if you don't have any margin, I think you will not get on the rendering some boundaries. Some of the students faced with a problem. For example, when this explosion comes up, you will get on the render some the cut of this fluid. Let's check if you we don't need to use this cut on the fluids. That's why you should every time check some render and see how it renders on above of this fluid. It's I think with this after resize without any margin, we will get quality result. Okay, let's see the beginning of this explosion. I think it's enough for now. Next, what we can do, let's talk about the environment. I will show you how we can create terrain with some sculpting process. Let's save this result. I'm creating some plane. Let's increase the size of this plane to create some environment. Next, I'm going to change the subdivision, make it 100 and 100. Let's put it below this fluid. And with the sculpting tool, we can create some mountings. Let's change it in the tool settings. We can change the strength of these parameters, and we can change the size of the brush. And also we can change the size of the brush by pressing some B on the keyboard and moving with left mouse button pressed, and we can adjust the size and adjust the strength in the tool settings. And we can easily create some chaotic mountains and put some environment around. It's like a ground. With the shift you can smooth. With the control you can deselect, uh, downgrade some parameters. And with this sculpting method, we can achieve some background for this fluid. Next, we can check our camera view and put some bookmark. Let's create some new bookmark. It's already recorded. Okay, save this one. Next, I'm going to find some textures for my fluid. For my background, I'm going to find some ground texture, seamless. What means seamless? We are going to repeat this texture, and we don't have any borders on the textures. If we have some seamless texture, we can repeat it every time, and we will not see artifacts on the texture. If we can use some ground high resolution, we can save this, download it where you can find, just Google it, and use some texture for the ground. You can use with the grass. Maybe we can use this one. It's more interesting. Let's open. We can use some JPEG files. Here's with the grass. Let's download it. We can use high resolution, or we can use just 124. It's up to you. I suggest you to use some JPEG file, and we can use this as a texture on our ground. Okay, let's save this out. You can create some desert if you want. Desert, I guess. Let's save this texture into my folder. Okay, we can go to the selection mode and apply some materials on this grass. We can use just Lampert. Go to the material. Inside of the color, we can use download the texture. Where is it? This dry grass. Another step, we should repeat this texture into the second folder where is the place to the texture. We can repeat this according to the UV times 10 by 10. And if we use seamless texture, we don't see the borders here. But also we can use some stagger, and it's more chaotic by using these stagger parameters. But I think it's not really good seamless because I see these artifacts here. This is the borders of the texture. Maybe we can use mirror U and mirror V. And now we can see the pattern, but if we looks closer, it's more natural and not like pattern. Maybe something like this. Yes, this one is more accurate. Next, I'm going to use, I need to create some HDRI texture around, and we can use our HDRI heaven. We have some polyheaven site where we can download any HDRI texture. And we can also find some outdoor and find some appropriate texture, maybe with some uh, clouds with the same desert. Maybe this one is more looks like ours. And we can download this one in the EXR format. We can use 1K or 2K texture. It depends on you. And we can download it. While it's downloaded, we can adjust into our sky dome. Go to the Arnold, create sky dome light, and inside of this color, we are going to use this downloaded XR texture. Let's put this downloaded into our folder. If you use any textures, please put it inside of your working folder. It's easily to make it like a zip file and submit into the Teams or put it into another computer and continue work if you want to move. Because Maya keeps only links to the texture files. That's why you should keep your file and textures into one folder. And let's go to our folder and find some downloaded HDRI texture within the EXR format. And now we can see and we can find some camera view. Also, if you want to change some position of your HDRI, you can use and you can rotate even. Or you can put it down a little bit. And make some rotation. I think this one is better. Okay, let's see what we have on the render. Maybe we should switch off some directional light that we use for the preview. And now we have light from the HDRI texture, and we get some environment. We have some background. Maybe we can put it even down. Why it's not changing? Okay, let's see. Maybe we can move another parameters. You can change also the sculpting. You should find the better records for your rendering. Maybe we can rotate this kind of light, something like this. Okay, let's see pre-render. I think this almost fine. Okay, let's save this one, and it's better now to add some uh, collisions between these fluids. We can select plane and fluid and make collide. Uh, if you don't put this make collide, we have this rough environment. We have these homes. Wait, I forgot how it's hills inside of this terrain. It's better to use some collisions between them to achieve some natural collisions between this environment. And we need to create some play blast effect here. Let's save this one, and I'm going to double click on the timeline, and for the play blast I'm going to use less quality and remove temporary files without save any files because I don't have any memory on my computer. We just need to check that everything renders fine without any collisions between the fluid shape. And also we should change some records for this fluid. Maybe we can uh, scale our terrain even more because we have really huge explosion. Maybe we can stop this play blast with escape mode. Yes, we should change the size of our terrain. Let's increase this and change the camera. Maybe like this. Let's save new bookmark. And now let's make some play blast. Save, double click, make some play blast, and let's see how it works. And about the rendering, this explosion, it took much more time instead of rendering some Thanos portal. And you should also keep in mind this render time. But we have only 130 frames, and that's why it's less but takes longer. And don't forget calculate the cache before you put rendering. If you have the cache, even if your renders crashed, you can start with any uh, frame you want. If you don't have any cache, you should start render again, because if you don't have any cache, Fluid calculates every time different. And now we have this animation, and we have only 4 seconds, 5 seconds duration. And this one, I think it's already cool. We can change the position of the camera. And make some pre-render to see how it looks. It's cutted on the rendering. But on the viewport we have a good quality. This is also a problem we should solve. It's cutted like it have some boundaries, but it's not have some boundaries. Okay, let's try to solve this problem with some after resize. Maybe if we increase this after resize, and also there is some sub steps. Before you set this animation to the render, it's better to check every stage of this fluid and see it's it shouldn't be some boundaries on the simulation. Let's make it again and see. On every step of the simulation how it looks. And it's better to use your recourse for the render view, and from this recourse it should be also looks good. And also we can change the camera. Let's check in betweens. There is no cuts. Okay, let's see again. I'm not using the cache now because I don't have enough memory for recording and for the cache, but I suggest you to use cache for this fluid. And here we can see these boundaries. It's cutted from this part. Maybe we can check in these parameters how it will be. And let's try to define Let's stop and see in betweens. It's cut. It's really interesting how we can change. Maybe we can increase it more and increase some margin. And let's see how it looks. I forgot how we solve it in the previous lectures. Maybe when we've done with magical smoke, was also this problem. I forgot how we solve it. With this some parameters, maybe we can find it now. Oh, it's much better. There is no cut it. Let's do it again. When it becomes more um, tall. Okay, let's stop and render. It's again cut it. We can see this straight line above. Maybe we can look. Yes, it's cut it. Maybe we can switch off after size and try to use much bigger container. Let's put it above. We should use maybe in something like this. And let's save. Let's go back to our view and again calculate it and check the boundaries. Maybe without after size we can deal with this by keeping the resolution of this fluid bigger. But the quality becomes a little bit worse and we should increase the base resolution as well. Our fluid is disappeared. Okay, what happens? Where is the rendering? Maybe we can save and reopen Maya. Okay, let's make it again. Okay, go back to our fluid and I hope this one will be rendered now. Okay, let's calculate some of this fluid and check render. Now it's seen. I think it's not seen because Maya have some problems maybe. Okay, let's check these settings for the boundaries and for the container size. And maybe with these settings, we can see fluid shape without cutting its top. It happens only when on the 19 frames and next. At the beginning, it's render good. But at the end, sometimes we have these boundaries on this fluid. It's not seen in the viewport, it sees only in the render. Let's stop and check. And also we should check the quality because we change the size, and according to this size, base resolution also becomes less. But on the render, I think it's enough for this fluid, and we don't have any cuts here. Let's make some camera changing and simulate again. Continue simulation to see every step of this fluid behavior. If you want to change the color and the density of this color, you can also uh, think about shading of this fluid and change the gradient, and you will get some different behavior from this fluid. And also its behavior changed according to without any after size. This fluid becomes with a different behavior. Uh, before after resize, with the after resize, I think fluids looks more good, but we don't have any cuts if you don't have after resize. You can experiment with the parameter of the after resize as well and find uh, the proper attribute for this. Let's stop. And on the render, there is no attributes, no cutting without this after resize. We solve this problem, but I don't like how it behaviors. Maybe we can change the particles a little bit. We can go to the emitter and make it speed just a little bit more, and we can recalculate now. And we can also put some speed random here. And also you can change the lifespan of these particles. I'm using lifespan about 2 seconds. You can use it maybe with a random range or with little bit few. And the fluid container really affects on how this fluid looks. Even if you change its shape, resolution, and size, the fluid becomes different. And with the playing with these attributes, you can achieve some results of its behavior. With the changing of speed of these particles, we also get some different result from this explosion. But without any after resize, we solve problem with the cutting some fluids. You can also play with these parameters and find what fits for you. Yes, and in the after resize, there was some parameters, but I forgot which parameters. You can experiment with this after resize. If you on the render don't have this problem, you can use after resize as well. But if you have problems with this cutting, you can use the really huge container of the fluid, uh, and there is no cutting on the above, but the quality also should be proportionally solved with this size of the fluid. You can increase the base resolution, or you can increase the number of fluids. Some of these parameters also affect on its how it's appear and behavior. But there is no cut above. But also in these parameters, we should also play with the color of this fluid. Maybe we can change inside of the fluid shape, shading. We can move it these parameters, and we can get result according to these new parameters of the container. And this also works together. If you change the size, you can change also incandescence shape and increase the resolution, and it works together. And also you can change opacity, maybe. If you change even opacity, something like this, you will get some deeper result. Something like this. If you change really small parameters, you will get another result in the render. And with applying these parameters, you can manipulate with the looking of this explosion. And also you can also find some tutorials which I sent about fluids explosion rendering. Here you can find some parameters of the colors, and you can repeat the settings. But the main settings today I will show you some basic settings for the good explosion. Um, and also it's disappearing. It's not disappearing. If it's not disappearing, we can go to the settings of dynamics properties, first content details, temperature, and maybe dissipation can be increased. But I think we've done for today. You can play with these attributes and every time check every step of this fluid on the pre-render with the help of the playblast and with the help of the cache. You can also, if you happy with the form of this fluid, you can cache it, and after that you can play with this shading on every step of the simulation. Shading and opacity will not affect on the cache, but it's affect on its how it looks on the render. Cache will help you to save your time on the shading method. Okay, we've done for today. Also use some different tutorials to find some parameters, what they use. You can use this tutorial also. And don't forget about rendering time. Find good records, apply some ground and light for your fluid. Okay, we're done for today.